Hello, Al Pals. This is Big Al, and welcome to Big Al Presents. And today on Big Al Presents, I just wanted to do a little short video on something that I brought up last night on the live stream, and it was the fact that the Star Trek film franchise uh, that was started by J.J. Abrams back in 2009 may not be as dead in the water as a lot of people thought it may have been. Uh, from the Hollywood Reporter, uh, written yesterday by Aaron Couch and Boris Kitt. Star Trek is the topic, and Fargo creator Noah Hawley to direct the next film. Um, there, of course, is Chris Pine as Captain Kirk in that god awful outfit. Chris Pine and crew are expected to return for the fourth installment of the Paramount series. Paramount is beaming up a new captain for its Star Trek franchise, Noah Hawley, who is best known for TV's Fargo and Legion. Will direct the next Trek film for the studio, the Hollywood Reporter has confirmed. I will say I'm not as familiar with Fargo. I mean, I've heard about it. I've never watched it. It's the not the kind of show that I gravitate to. But I have seen Legion, and I was a big fan of Legion. Legion just finished up a 3-season run on FX, and it was quite an imaginative, inventive series based on the Marvel title Legion, which was based on the son of Dr. X, or Professor X. Sorry, oops, Dr. X. Get punched in the face for that at a convention. But yes, Professor X's son was the main character in that, and it was a very imaginative film, a very far out film. I often compared it to doing acid because of some of the visuals that show would bring in. And I guess if you're going to do wacky visuals, um, heck, let's bring them into Star Trek. See what happens with the JJ-verse, as we already know. It is expected that Chris Pine will reprise his role as Captain James T. Kirk alongside such castmates as Zachary Quinto and Zoe Saldana, who have been with the film series since J.J. Abrams revamped the franchise in 2009. This fourth Star Trek stands separate from the one that Quentin Tarantino has been attached to for 2 years. Goes to say, which Star Trek would you rather see? One by Tarantino or one by Noah Hawley? That is a rhetorical question. I, quite frankly, am kind of scared of either answer, because we already know the JG-verse as it was set. Not a fan of a lot of the aesthetic. Starship design of the Enterprise was not it was very divisive among fans. I'm not even going to say it was divisive among fans. I want to say it was generally universally disliked. It has some fans, because everything has some fans. But also, it just makes me wonder if Hawley will come in and if he might tweak any of the design aesthetic. Will he lessen the lens flare? Will he redesign the Enterprise A? Will it undergo a refit before it even sets flight? Maybe give it a little better aesthetic for fans of the original series and the original films. So I don't know, just something to think about. Paramount had been developing a fourth installment after 2016's Star Trek Beyond and had hoped to be in production earlier this year. But after developing a time travel themed script that would reunite Pine's Kirk with his father, Chris Hemsworth, negotiations with the two actors fell apart in the summer of 2018. The studio was trying to keep costs contained, but the initial deals for the actors playing the Enterprise crew had run out, and new, more expensive deals were on the table. Talks never resumed, and the project was shelved. And that was the last I had heard. I thought this thing was dead in the water. I had heard that Tarantino was interested in creating another film. But that's all I really heard. I didn't know if he wanted to use the JG-verse actors, or maybe start something from his own, from his the depths of his own mind, which would would be intriguing, kind of scary. An R-rated Star Trek um, could be something to watch. I would say that. S.J. Clarkson was attached to helm Star Trek 4 at the time, and would have become the first woman in the franchise history to direct a Trek film. Holly is a respected mind in the genre space and won an outstanding miniseries Emmy for Fargo's first season in 2014. A fourth season is on the way with Chris Rock in the lead. Holly also directed the feature Lucy in the Sky, starring Natalie Portman, and was developing a script based on Marvel villain Doctor Doom for Fox. Ooh. Before the studio was purchased by Disney, so who knows what's going to happen with that. Holly will produce Star Trek 4 via his 26 Keys shingle, along with Bad Robot, the production banner run by Abrams, who helmed the first two installments of this current Trek incarnation. Uh, if Bad Robot's still going to be involved, chances are it's going to look the same. The Enterprise is going to be the same aesthetic, the uniforms, uh, the overall style. Maybe a tweak here or there, but it's probably going to look the same. Uh, I don't know. Going to have to wait and see. I do like Noah Hawley's work, as I've said. Like I said, I was a big fan of his Legend. I know Fargo has been a big hit, so we'll have to see. But what holds for this intrepid crew of the Enterprise, as far as the Kelvin timeline, Elvin Enterprise crew anyway. Of course, sadly, we lost Anton Yelchin a couple of years ago in a tragic accident, so uh, I don't see them recasting Chekhov. I think it would be a disservice to Anton to do that, but it would be interesting to see this crew together again. Uh, Chris Pine he's a serviceable Kirk. I think he's he's not bad. Uh, I think the entire crew is, um, like I said, serviceable is the word that comes to mind. Though I will say, Carl Urban's Dr. McCoy is probably the best characterization amongst the entire crew. Uh, I think if they get Carl Urban back, I'll be pretty pleased, because he and DeForest Kelly, I think, were cut from the same cloth, I believe. But yeah, like I said, just wanted to kind of touch on this a little bit. Star Trek, the film franchise, not dead yet. But then again, you never know. Things could always fall apart. As I've said before, mixed feelings on it because of the design aesthetic and some of the choices they made within the movies. Not a fan of Khan. Like Benedict Cumberbatch, but he's just not Khan. Um, and lens flare and I don't know, just a lot of things just looked off. But we'll see. A new head of the film. You never know, might do it good. Uh, so I'd love to hear what you guys think. Would you be interested in seeing another Star Trek film cut from the Kelvin timeline cloth? Or would you rather wait around to see if Tarantino ever got the Star Trek in his mind onto film? Which I will say I would be interested to see it. Little trepidation about it, but I'd be interested to see it. Uh, I hope you guys have a great day. Um, Live long and prosper, and as always, take care.